Hi everyone, I'm Maya, the dietitian, and I help women manage their PCOS symptoms naturally, balance their hormones, and improve their fertility. We'll be looking at foods that you can consume and foods to avoid for someone with PCOS. Firstly, I'd like to share a bit more about what PCOS is. So it's certainly a state of inflammation. So the symptoms that you experience, for example, the facial hair growth, acne, trouble losing weight, insulin resistance, these are all symptoms and consequences of the severity of your PCOS. When PCOS gets worse, it may reflect in your testosterone levels, your sex hormone binding globulin levels, your fasting blood sugar levels, or your HbA1c. But all of this is not going to be visible to you unless you do a blood test. So one of the ways that your body actually communicates with you is through these symptoms changing. For example, the length of your menstrual cycle reducing or increasing. Diet and lifestyle is basically one of the most powerful tools that you have to manage PCOS, and I definitely recommend that you give that a good go before resorting to hormonal treatment. And it's also very much risk-free. So let's get started. Firstly, we'll be looking at a list of foods that's recommended for you. As I said before, PCOS is a state of inflammation. So in terms of foods that we want to be prioritizing, we'd be looking at anti-inflammatory foods. And the first thing that comes to our mind is going to be omega-3. So omega-3 is rich in a lot of natural sources. For example, lots of oily fish. And when I say oily, I mean fatty fishes like salmon, tuna, mackerel, sardines. It's also really high in walnuts and other nuts. Have a combination of seeds as well. So I'd recommend probably filling up a big jar of different nuts and seeds, preferably unsalted, and have a handful of that mixture every day and keep it consistent. Like with anything else, consistency is very much important compared to frequency. So it's more important that you have a small amount, say for 30 days in a month, rather than doing 5 days of having a handful of nuts and the remaining months resorting to old habits without those. Next up, chia seeds. I must say, chia seeds are an omega-3 powerhouse. So add a tablespoon to your jug of water, your smoothies, or on your oats, and have them every day as well. It also packs a lot of protein and fiber. Now, another one would be avocados and also olive oil. And if you have access to olives, olives are a great source of omega-3 as well. Next, we'll be looking at whole grains. So there's a reason why whole grains are certainly a lot better and anti-inflammatory for your body compared to refined grains like white rice and white bread and regular pasta. So choose whole grains, seeded toast or rolled oats or steel cut oats, brown rice wherever possible, and having whole grain or wholemeal pasta. Now, there might have been a misunderstanding that carbs are actually inflammatory or they promote insulin resistance. I'd like to correct that and say that carbs aren't the problem. The quality of carb is what you need to keep in mind. If you're choosing whole grains, they're certainly high quality carbs. And when those whole grains pack a lot more minerals and fiber, that fiber component is going to keep you full for longer, hence automatically reducing the quantity of carbs that you might consume. For example, you might easily be able to consume 4 slices of white bread, but if I were to change that to seeded toast, you'd only be able to probably consume about 3 slices of bread. So in terms of calories, now that's already reduced, and any excess calories is not going to be harmful. We know that protein is important, but bear in mind that any animal-based protein is going to come with some fat along with it. And these fats are often saturated fats unless we're speaking about fishes. So make sure that you include plenty of plant-based protein at least about 2 to 3 times a week. For example, legumes, lentils, tofu, some soya chunks into your diet. We also know that fruits and vegetables pack a lot of antioxidants, and each color combination packs a different complexity of antioxidants. So the more colorful your plate is across the week with a variety of fruits and vegetables, the more antioxidants that you're actually getting into your body, and that also helps reduce the inflammation. So try and aim for at least 2 pieces of fruit in a day and at least 2 to 3 varieties of vegetables in a day. For example, maybe some spinach, carrots, and cucumbers. Overall, if I were to summarize the key nutrients we've spoken about, that's going to be antioxidants, some omega-3, fiber, and good quality protein. and that essentially is what reduces inflammation in your body and helps tackle that insulin resistance. Now let's move on to foods to avoid. First up, saturated fats. So saturated fats promote inflammation, and saturated fats are often found in processed foods and also animal-based products. For example, pastries, cakes, cookies, biscuits that you get from the bakery is not going to have extra virgin olive oil or canola oil as its source of fat. It might be made from a more commercially viable source of fat like butter or vegetable oil or palm oil, and this would increase inflammation in your body. Along with the sugars that's often present in these products, it will increase your insulin resistance, spike your glucose levels, and make you feel a lot more sluggish although you've just eaten. Apart from these, fried foods or takeaway options often have a lot more oil or fat in their food because taste is a priority for them. It's going to be very different from the quality and the quantity of oil that you use at home. So be mindful of that as well. And you definitely want to be thinking about the amount of sugar that's present in your overall diet. So things like soft drinks or juices, these have empty calories or very quickly releasing sugars that would spike your insulin levels as well. When insulin levels are constantly spiking, that also means your blood sugar levels are rather stable. That's going to put a lot of pressure on your pancreas to try and manage the amount of sugars that's constantly flowing into your blood. This also worsens your androgen levels, which is your testosterone levels, and your overall inflammatory state of the ovaries. So bear in mind that we want to be choosing nutritious food and whole foods rather than highly processed or packaged products because they are often going to promote inflammation. Something that you can do to reduce the amount of saturated fat that's in dairy products and your choice of meats is to trim off the white portion in your marbled meats, or when you get a cut of lamb, for example, you'd easily be able to see a white streak on the side or through the meat. So picking leaner cuts also reduces saturated fat and makes the cut higher in protein. With dairy products, you can choose margarine instead of butter, which would mean that it has a plant-based source of fat and hence anti-inflammatory. You can also choose low-fat milk or Greek yogurt instead of regular yogurt, or you can also pick reduced fat cheeses and creams. We know that PCOS is rather complex and it is a chronic condition, so try and get on top of it with simple, sustainable changes. Start with looking at what's really on your plate. Focus on high fiber carbohydrates, which are going to be your whole grains, lean protein, whether that's going to be plant-based or animal-based protein. Try and choose lots of antioxidants in the form of your fruits and vegetables. Pay attention to the colors and try and incorporate some healthy fats as well, like a drizzle of olive oil or canola oil on your meals. We want to be limiting highly processed foods, saturated fats, and added sugars in our diet. And this equation overall is definitely going to reduce your inflammation. Let me know down in the comments below if you're struggling with a specific symptom and you'd like some support with that. Stay tuned for more topics as we cut down food fear.